had a car accident. We were rolling on the highway, but the community really just came together over here, all over here, just to help us and to make sure that we were safe. And by God's grace we are, and the ambulance is here and they helped us recover everything. So I just want to say thank you so much to just the people of South Africa who have a heart like that. It's really appreciated. Thank you guys so much. The fact that I'm talking to you right now is a miracle. You see that guitar? That guitar was about the same distance away from me when the crash happened, on my side, and look, like the head is in 3 pieces, and just this thing is wrecked properly, and I'm still in 1 piece. In fact, that is the worst of my injuries, apart from like a bruised bum and a ding on my shin. I'm going to just recap the story for you as I remember it. We were going from Port Elizabeth to Johannesburg. We were going to stay in Bloem for the night. This is Ali, his girlfriend Max, and myself. It was about 5 o'clock. I was chilling in the back of the bakkie. In fact, a bit earlier, not too much earlier, I was jamming on my guitar because there was so much space in the back over there, and it's a good way to pass the time. Yeah, a little bit of worship and a little bit of trying to improvise, singing and whatever. But yeah, I put my guitar away. I was just trying to catch some sleep. Like you can see in the reflection of one of those pictures in the intro. But yeah, I just recall hearing a screech and thinking, okay, I think I know what's going down right now. And then intense centripetal force, like this force that's just so much bigger than you, like spinning. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it feels like. I think it's a bit odd how at peace I was feeling. But yeah, after like the movement had stopped, I got up and looked where I was. I was basically in the roof of the canopy, and all of the luggage that was in the back with me had just been laid out in a trail of wreck. Like suitcases had broken open, my guitar, as it is, Ollie's guitar, had come out of its case, and then that was along the road. Then perpendicular to the road where I was, about 10 meters, was the car on its side, with Ollie and Max in it. The first thing I did was to check if they were okay, and they were bleeding, and I was a bit worried. So immediately I tried to find my phone to call the ambulance and also the people who we were going to see that night in Bloemfontein. This was about 6 kilometers before Kroonstad from Port Elizabeth. It was at about that point in time that a couple called Kanisa and Tembile, who we'd just overtaken, as it turns out, saw our dust that raised from the accident, and they pulled over and they came and asked how they could help. And yeah, I asked Kanisa if she could just call the ambulance, please, because I couldn't find my phone. And Tembile helped me just gather the stuff, and within a short amount of time there were lots of people helping. We could turn the car on its side again, and get Ollie out. Yeah, sure, it was very hectic. To think that I'm in 1 piece, it's insane. If you think about the statistics of surviving in the back of a bakkie, when it rolls, no seatbelt, all of the luggage that was there with me, and I'm in 1 piece. I mean, the biggest injury I got was probably this little cut on my hand, and like a little bit of grazing here, but like really not much. Dings on my shin and a sore left bum muscle. That's about it, you know. Ollie and Max did suffer a bit more severe wounds, but not hectic. Maxine did get 10 stitches, and Ollie was asked to stay just for observation in the hospital for the night. Yeah, everyone is okay, and I just think it's insane that I'm still alive and in 1 piece. Honestly, I just have God to thank, because I'm not supposed to be here right now. I could very easily have been that guitar, which, by the way, I really, really love. So if any of you want to give away an acoustic guitar, or want to sell a guitar at student rates, please hit me up, because I jam that thing a lot. In fact, that's why I brought it with, because I can't live without it. Yeah, so that's that. But yeah, just going on to the story, like, it's interesting to think. I mean, my stepmom was just telling me when we left, she was feeling this unease, and it was funny how my stepmom had this feeling of unease when we left, and so yeah, her and my dad started praying, and I honestly think it's because God was with me in that bakkie, just holding me and not letting me get flung. I mean, just thinking of the debris again. The carpet that I was on, that was underneath everything, was outside. It was outside. Like, I don't understand how I stayed in the canopy and skidded, and that canopy didn't, like, wreck. It was made of fiberglass. I don't know how. So I attribute it all to God. I'm alive because of the grace of God. And yeah, I mean, I think he had me and his plans all along, because Kanisa and Tempile were just talking about how God is always there for us, and then they saw this wreckage, and they did offer me a lift through to Joburg to just get me there. I spoke to Ollie and Max and told them, listen, this is an offer that I've just gotten. I don't want to be a burden for you guys, like, to have to worry about me going forwards, because they both were going to the hospital just to be observed and to get fixed up, and I was all right, you know. And just that was one way that I felt God provided for me. And we got to speak about how we interpreted the situation afterwards, and it was quite awesome. They played worship music, and many of my favorite songs on the way back, and I was just like, I started crying. I was like, God, your arms were around me. You kept me safe, and obviously He's still got plans for me. Just thinking about how things would have been if I died. The first thing I think is just the relationship I had with my family, and have with my family. Just my dad. I know even in the car ride on the way there, I decided, you know, like, to use a couple of words just to convey how I respect some form of leadership which he portrayed just recently. And I mean, I don't always do that, but I felt, you know, I think it's a good thing to point out leadership, and just even for me to tell him that, you know. Also with my mom, it's just been recently that we've been able to really be able to talk openly again. And I think if I had passed on, I wouldn't have been sad about the messages I'd left with them, because that message I sent to my dad was literally the last message I sent to him, and the last call I had with my mom was this call. So yeah, but if I was to be unhappy about anything, it would be that I've got this insane vision, like, that I feel God has laid on my heart for unity in South Africa. I know that we're called to change, you know. If we want to change the world, you start at your family, then your friends and your community, and, you know, you go out from there to the country, to the world. My heart is set on South Africa, and I feel like I'm doing what I can in my family, but unity has not yet been realized to the extent that I want to see it in South Africa, and for that reason I would have been a bit bleak. And so I'm happy to be here, and I'm still going to spend every day of my life working towards that vision. Sorry about that, my mom called. I'm going to end the video right here. Life can end like that. Be sure that you're on good terms with the people you love, and be sure that your heart is in the right place. We don't know where we're going, but don't you wanna maybe be safe in case life does end unexpectedly? That's all I have to say about that. Thank you for watching. Cheers.